Hello everyone. Let's discuss about novel in this video. The English word novel for the genre was derived from the Italian term novella, which means a little new thing. Novel is an extended prose narrative, and its vast magnitude allows the novelist to portray an endless variety of themes, a multitude of characters, a complex plot, and a wider setting. The exact origins of this genre are not clear, but it is seen as the most modern of all literary forms. It is considered that the novel is a descendant of the medieval romances. Spain was the first to have developed the novel with the publication of Cervantes' Don Quixote. Don Quixote was a satire on chivalry. So Spain was the first to have developed the novel with the publication of Cervantes' Don Quixote. In England, the novel was in its infancy at the end of the 16th century. Lilly's Euphues and also Sir Philip Sidney's Arcadia are evolutions of the extended prose narrative. Other earlier attempts include Thomas Nash's The Unfortunate Traveller, then Aphra Behn's Orinoco, John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, etc. All these are the earlier attempts of this genre. With Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, the English novel came of age. Defoe described this work as a journalistic report, and with which the English novel came of age. Then the range and variety of English novels of the 18th century is remarkable. Some of the great novels of this period include Samuel Richardson's Pamela, Henry Fielding's Tom Jones, Tobias Smollett's Humphrey Klinger, then Lawrence Sterne's Tristram Shandy. All these are major examples. So some of the major writers of this period of 18th century include Samuel Richardson, Henry Fielding, Tobias Smollett, Lawrence Sterne. All these are major writers. Pamela, Tom Jones, Humphrey Klinger, Tristram Shandy. All these are major works of this period. Then some other writers of this period includes Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith's work, The Vicar of the Wakefield. Then Jonathan Swift with his Gulliver's Travels. Then Dr. Johnson's Rasselas. Horace Walpole's The Castle of Otranto. Henry Mackenzie's The Man of Feeling. Fanny Burney's Evelina, etc. All these are major examples of novels, and all these are major writers as well. Oliver Goldsmith, Jonathan Swift, Horace Walpole, Henry Mackenzie, Fanny Burney, etc. During the early 19th century, two literary figures dominated the English novel, Sir Walter Scott and Jane Austen. Sir Walter Scott was an immensely prolific writer, and he established the historical novel genre with his well-known novels such as Waverley, Rob Roy, Ivanhoe, Kenilworth, etc. So Sir Walter Scott, he was immensely prolific writer, and he established the historical novel genre. His well-known novels include Waverley, Rob Roy, Ivanhoe, Kenilworth, etc. Then Jane Austen. Jane Austen's popular women-oriented novels. It include the much acclaimed Pride and Prejudice and also Emma. So Jane Austen was also a very popular writer who dominated the early 19th century period. Then the middle period of the 19th century witnessed the astonishing contributions by Charles Dickens, which includes works like Oliver Twist, David Copperfield, etc. Then other famous novelists of this period are Thackeray with his Vanity Fair, then George Eliot, Mary Ann Evans, who used the pseudonym George Eliot. Her famous work Adam Bede, Mill on the Floss, Silas Marner, Middlemarch, etc. Then also Bronte sisters, Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte and Anne Bronte. Okay, Emily Bronte is Wuthering Heights, then Charlotte Bronte is Jane Eyre, Anne Bronte is Agnes. Then other important writers of this period are George Meredith with his work Rod Fleming, then Wilkie Collins with his works The Woman in White and The Moonstone. So Wilkie Collins, George Meredith are also famous at that period. Then the other important one, the most distinguished English novelist who lived during the last quarter of the 19th century is Thomas Hardy. He published novels like The Mayor of Casterbridge, and he was a very famous writer, very distinguished English novelist of that period. Then other one, R.L. Stevenson, Robert Louis Stevenson. He was also a renowned writer whose popular novels include Treasure Island, Kidnapped, etc. So these are all worth mentioning names at that time. Then when we look at the French writers, the leading novelists were Flaubert, his work Madame Bovary. Then other one, Victor Hugo, Émile Zola, Maupassant. All these are major French writers. Okay. Better known American novelists of this period include James Fenimore Cooper, Herman Melville, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Mark Twain, and also Henry James. The major works include James Fenimore Cooper's The Last of the Mohicans, then Moby Dick by Herman Melville, The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and also Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, then The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. All these are major examples. The 20th century saw a revitalization of the novel form with innovations like interior monologue, stream of consciousness technique, and also candid portrayal of sexuality and gender issues by English, American, and European writers like James Joyce, Marcel Proust, Franz Kafka, Thomas Mann, Virginia Woolf, William Faulkner, and also D.H. Lawrence. So all these writers deal with innovations in novels. After the Second World War, the novel was considered to be dead, but was reborn as a new novel that became a vehicle of postmodernism. So with the end of Second World War, after the Second World War, the novel actually was considered to be dead, but it was reborn as the new novel that became a vehicle of postmodernism. This novel form has no obligatory style or any particular structure because of the diversity of form. It exhibits a higher degree of realism when compared with the prose romance and has a recognizable social background as its setting. Unlike the prose romance, the novel describes incidents in a plain and prosaic language and has a solid plot in which at least one of the characters undergoes a drastic change. However, there is a strong similarity between the novel and the prose romance. Both often portray a virtuous protagonist struggling through the travails of the world.